Hey, what's wrong with you? I said I'm fine. Yeah, okay. Welcome back to the Mars Mindset. Welcome back to the Mars Mindset. Today is a special day. And I'm going to tell you why it's a special day. Because we're going to find out what's really wrong with you. I got it, Vicky. I appreciate it. Today, we're going to find out what's really wrong with you. All of you women who have all told the lie, I'm fine. I didn't put any lotion on, so I'm going to put some lotion on so my hands don't look all ashy. Right? But today we're going to find out why when your man asks you what's wrong with you? I'm fine. I say, what's wrong with you for real? I'm fine. That's the one lie every woman that has ever existed has told. And today we're going to figure it out. We're going to find out if it's the way we ask what's wrong with you, if you're avoiding confrontation, if you maybe think that we're not going to validate your feelings, or you think having this particular conversation may end the relationship, or maybe you're embarrassed about your emotions. Maybe you really don't know what emotion you're actually experiencing. So let's dig into it. And I would like to get the ladies' opinions on what the guy's version of I'm fine is. They're like, oh, I'm good. Nah, I'm good. And how do y'all cope and deal with that? And how do we cope and deal with y'all's I'm fine? So let's get somebody in here so we can get it on and popping. Welcome to Mars, baby. Let's have the conversation. Let's have the conversation. Because I'm fine. I promise you. I'm fine. I promise. I promise. Let's see who we could get in here. I'm pretty sure I got the screen recording going. If not, you happy?
Yep. Oh man.
Do the seal clap.
Yeah, I had the yay.
What's
This
wrong
is
with you?
like
What's wrong with you?
I'm fine.
No, for real. Like, really, like, what's wrong with you?
I don't know. I'm not fine.
Oh, so now we're getting somewhere.
But see, I've learned that though. I've learned over time to be honest, regardless of if I think that person. Um, so if you keep asking me, then I'm gonna tell you. Because at that point, I realized, okay, do you really want to know what's wrong with me? And sometimes, honestly, in my past, like me saying I'm fine was just to avoid confrontation because my selection of pickings of, um, my significant other at the time was not the greatest in receiving my feelings. And
Okay,
yeah.
when you say receiving, what do you mean by receiving?
Like the adeptness of the deepness of the rooted issue for me, where I will overthink, or to the point to where sometimes, because I had a past of deep depression,
Okay.
and it went deep for me, and I got so used to just dealing with me and God and just myself, and then my thoughts would take over to the point to where when I tried to explain or express myself, I wasn't good at it. Like
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't really explain the emotions I was feeling. Um, and then the point of being vulnerable with someone that I wasn't really safe with, my emotions, it was more so like a protection, mechanism, where I was kind of still trying to protect my feelings and my weakness and my vulnerability because I was already in a level of depression.
Oh, okay. So you said a lot of good stuff. So one of the things you talked about that I'm big on is like not being so identified with the thoughts in your mind, right?
Right.
So almost anytime somebody comes to me with a problem, one of my first things I do this little game with them where I make them say a color in their mind and have them realize like, yo, you're not your mind. Your mind is like your heart in a sense, in that it's kind of its own entity. But we're so self-identified with it, with that voice, right? That we allow that voice to paint the world for us, right?
Right.
Until you're able to like step back and detach from it, you see it like, yo, this thing. I mean, it's brilliant, right? But it has its lunacies.
Right. It does. It really does.
So
So
let
I'm
me
like,
ask
dang.
you, all
Uh
right? I
huh.
see the trees moving. So let me ask you this though. You said receive. So when you say receive, I think validation.
Understanding,
Okay, understanding.
like to a point of sometimes I just didn't want that person to say anything to me in a sense of telling me, like, whenever okay, so scenario, hypothetical, but it was real, but however you want to put it. Um, when this person was like, "Are you fine? Are you fine?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm good. I'm fine. I'm fine." But I was really at my breaking point. But it was more so like, give me some time to really feel this out, because I don't even know how I'm gonna put this to words so that you're not receiving it like I'm coming at you. You see what I'm saying? Like, a lot of times it was more so me explaining how I feel. It's something that I didn't like what he did, you know?
Hmm.
Um, so I'm like, okay, because whenever I start to speak, he then took ownership. Like, what is it that and I'm like, wait, like, it's not more so like I'm trying to tell you, like, you did this wrong. I'm trying to get you to understand how I'm feeling and what you did wrong. What I see is wrong.
Okay, so why not just say, instead of saying I'm fine, because that's one of those white lies that we talked about yesterday.
Yeah, I told you I did it too. You know.
It's one of those white lies that we talked about yesterday.
Hmm.
Why not just say something to the effect of, something is bothering me, but I really don't have a handle on it mentally right now. So once I have a complete understanding of it for myself, then I'll let you know.
You know what, Chels? You know what? In my future, the things that's coming, I'm gonna use that. But I definitely was not there. I was
You,
not there.
you
I
should.
I wasn't there, like, at all. If I had that type of mentality, man, whew, they could have changed a lot of things. It could have halted a lot of arguments and misunderstanding. I'm like, and at that point, then I shut down because I was like, well, maybe I'm not saying it right, or maybe I'm not expressing myself right. So I started to shut down completely, to
Right.
where everything was, I was saying I was fine, but I was actually breaking. I was breaking down inside, and I knew I wasn't fine. So then I started to take a direction of, I need to remove myself from this situation, because everything that I'm saying is a problem. Everything that I am trying to express, even in the moments of giving me a break to say what is truly wrong with me, is not being received with love. It's being received in defendants. Like this person was trying to defend himself, and I'm like, I'm not even trying to come at you. I'm trying to get us to get to a level of, communication where we are both understanding each other's problems. But it's like I understood what he was saying, but when it came to me, I'm like, nah, I'm good. I'd rather talk to
I don't.
somebody else.
I don't even want to go down that path. Yeah. So like one of the things, because like I'm big on emotional intelligence, right?
Mm,
And so one of the things that I find that really work well for me, I got this app called the Mood Meter, and it's kind of like a quadrant, and it's got four different colors, and it's got maybe like 16 or 17 boxes in each quadrant. And you pick, like, let's say I feel good, so I'm on the right hand side of the quadrant, but I'm kind of mellow. So then I'm down in, say, the green, and it has different emotions. And the point of it is to be able to put a label on the emotion that you're experiencing. Because sometimes we feel things, right? But we don't really know a word to put on them. But you know how that goes. Once we put a label on something, we have a certain amount of power
right.
over it, right? And so then once I say, okay, I'm irritated, okay, well then I can say, well, what's the opposite of irritated? Maybe satisfied. Or then I could say, okay, how do I go from being irritated to satisfied? What does that process look like, right? And
Right.
so then what I'll do is, and this is something I try to get people to do, but I don't think anybody really does it. Let's say I'm irritated and I'm at that point of irritation where my mind is like, I just want to be violent, or I just want to hit something, or I want to bring that irritation into the physical realm, right? Because that's what men tend to do, right?
Right.
Um, all of those thoughts and emotions that I have, I write them out, and they'll be dark. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They'll be really dark. But as I get to writing it, I start to kind of like laugh at myself, like, yo, you tripping, right? Because now instead of me running from that dark aspect within me, I now come face to face with it.
Right.
I make it see me and me see it, and it's like
You
I'm
see
having a
me? I see
conversation.
you.
Like, I understand you're irritated. It's cool, and all of your feelings are valid, but we can't act that out in the real world until it's reasonable for us to do so,
Right.
right? So
Yeah.
anyway, that's something I think about is like labeling and actually writing it out and coming face to face with the emotion. Because I think what we do is we avoid them, and that's what I think y'all do. You say I'm fine, but here's the thing. One more thing, and then I'll let you go, and then I'll bring somebody else in with you. Do y'all know why we care so much?
You know, honestly, I can't put y'all in one bucket, okay?
Okay.
Because I've experienced, different levels of, concerns that did not necessarily come from a place of love. It came more so of, I really want to figure out what you're saying so I can take myself out of it. Not so that I care too much to hear or, I love you enough, but more so like, I just want to make sure it ain't me. Because
Okay.
if it ain't
So
me, I really don't want to touch it. You know what I mean?
I got you. Hey, Keisha, mute your mic right quick. Um, that is a part of it, right?
Yeah.
Because we definitely want to know if we are the issue, right? Definitely want
Right.
to know if, like, did I do something? Because I don't remember doing anything, right? But there have been moments where I didn't think I did anything and I had to do something. So that's very important. But
Right.
this is a Mars mindset thing, right? So I'm gonna tell you how the man mind thinks further than that, right?
Okay, I'm listening.
A
I want to
big
know.
part of a man's ego, self identity, is tied to his ability to keep his woman happy. Okay. Now, it's not realistic for me to be able to give you a foundational happiness, right? But in my mind, for some reason, I'm Superman. I can do this, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if nothing apparent has happened and you have an issue, one, you're right. I want to make sure it's not me, because if it's me, we about to have this conversation, right? Or we about to just argue, right? Because I ain't doing
Mm-hmm.
it. But more importantly than that, if you were to watch a couple together and the woman seemed unhappy, I think the natural inclination is that he did something wrong, or
Right.
he's not making her, she's not happy with him, even though it's
Mm-hmm.
something at her job. And so
Right.
the reason we press so much, keep asking what's wrong, what's wrong, what's wrong, are you're right, those two things. Because I want you to be happy, because if you're unhappy, then that's a referendum on me, at least in my mind. And two, I got to make sure that it ain't me.
True. True. And I honestly can say that I really haven't had um the a significant other actually be concerned enough. Like I literally can count on one hand. And I think more so because I have been told that, oh, sure, you're strong enough. You can deal with it. Whatever
Oh,
it is, you got it.
oh,
So, yeah, for real. And so then in turn, that was the reason why I took a path of my journey of separating myself and making some poor decisions in men where I'm saying to myself, dang, like I get that the only reason why I have to be strong is because I have to be. It's not by like chance or choice. It's because I have a lot of things on my plate that I'm actually dealing with that if I even took 0.2% of the time to even explain what it is that I'm dealing with, it would just kind of like, you know, get them running, basically. That's all
uh,
I can say. So for
okay.
me, it's more so, from my experience, I really haven't had a lot of, those who I've been in a relationship with. I had like friends that were concerned, like male friends that were concerned. But the sad thing in relationship, I really didn't get that, are you okay? Because even when I got to a point, like, I realized that you never really asked me, am I fine? Am I okay? It's me. It's me saying, are you doing okay? Are you doing all right? Yeah, I'm good. You sure? Because certain things are off that I noticed because I'm observant and I'm attentive, but it's like I wasn't getting that same thing. So that's why I took like a little hiatus, and it's just been me and God, because I'm like, I want to get the same reciprocation back. I know that love sometimes it's not always reciprocated, but that's what I do desire. So it's like I gotta go back and do some, soul searching, like, Lord help me, because I don't want to attract the same kind of man that I was attracting, that was not really being truly concerned about me. In that sense, am I okay? Am I fine? So
Okay. Yeah. That makes a lot of sense. I mean, like I said, like I know for us, it's really about making sure that y'all are okay. Now, one of the things I will tell you, Keisha, you could come back. You could jump on. You,
I'm here.
one, one of the, one of the things I will tell you too about men, I lost my thought. Oh, this is it. One of the things about men and women relationships, right, is the way in which things are presented dictates the reaction a lot of the time, right? So let's say your issue is with me, right? Um, if you say to me, you make me feel, I'm gonna get defensive,
Mm-hmm.
right? I'm gonna
mm,
be, I didn't make you feel anything. You felt that within yourself, right?
Right.
Right. So it's but that's how you genuinely feel. You know what I'm saying? Like you made me feel this way, right?
Right.
oh man.
But if you could present it in a way that's not as accusatory of me, because typically it's not my intention to hurt you or annoy you or anger you, right? I'm just being me, right?
Right.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And, but if you find a way to present it, and I'm trying to think of a way, if you were to say, hey, Chels, when you did X, Y, and Z, it made me feel, right? So now you kind of detached um
You from it.
me from it. You're talking about my action, right? Because
Right.
men are very logical. So if I know for okay, like if we go back to yesterday, I know I didn't show up to the wedding at 12. I can't argue against that, right? And so, and so it detaches me from directly giving you that feeling, and it's my action. So now we
Right.
can talk about my action, which gives me
Mm.
to articulate why I did what I did. So now we're in more so of an open dialogue as opposed to you made me feel angry,
Exactly.
pissed me off. Like I didn't do nothing to you.
Right. I've been
Right.
told that though.
Say again, Keisha.
I said I've been told that my approach and making them feel as though I was putting them up against the wall, just starting the conversation, that the conversation was going to go downhill from there. So it was like, can you approach me a different way? Can you not just say it is you? Like, can we actually say how you're feeling and what is going on? The same thing you said, like detaching you yourself, but making it what the situation is and how I feel. And I didn't understand that because in the moment it's like, look, you blowing me. Like
Mm,
you doing this
Yeah.
and the other. I'm not thinking that, okay, if I approach like this, I'm not going to get a good result. I'm not thinking that. At that time, I'm in my feelings and I'm going to say what I have to say. But it's just taking the extra step on being mindful that when you're ready to have these conversations, you're thinking before acting. So, and that takes a lot when you're in the moment. It really does
It
take.
takes a lot. Yeah.
well, I think too, like something I'm big on writing out thoughts
Mm-hmm.
because thoughts are the words that represent emotions, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if and I tend to think women are more emotion driven, right? Y'all are more in tune with y'all emotions. Y'all are better with emotions per se, right? So if you were able to write out everything that happened that in an event that you actually cared about, and then write out how you felt about it, even write out possible solutions, then when you come to me, instead of you just turning into She-Hulk on me,
You're
right?
right.
You connect with what's
You're
going
all
on,
concerned yet
right?
long.
This happened and it made me feel this way. Then you said this and it made me feel this way. And then
Right.
you said this and I didn't know what that meant. So that made me feel confused. Instead of you just coming at me and then I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. My process don't work that fast.
Right.
It
Mm-hmm.
is important, like Q Get Fit said, take a break and self-reflect. But you gotta make sure you're gonna come back and
Yeah.
have the conversation.
Yeah, that was the thing too. I didn't like I had to the reason why I had to take a break, and I'm not gonna get too personal, is just that sometimes the choice of men that I have dealt with, let me say that, um, they don't really like to have those tough conversations. It's
Uh-huh.
more so like, yeah, we'll talk about it later. And
Right.
then I never was the person that wanted to bring it right back up that night because, they'll take a walk or, and I'm like, okay, this issue's still bothering me, but you look like you chilling. And so now I'm putting it back on hold and I'm like, okay, so then I would revisit it sometime throughout the week and it's another problem. Like, you can't let that go. And I'm like, well, wait a
Oh
minute,
my.
hold up. How are we going to get through anything if I can't even we can't communicate? And so that was my whole issue of wanting to just go ahead. You know what, this was a poor decision on my end. Like, I took accountability because I couldn't really you can never force anybody to be who you want them to be.
True.
If they're not ready to communicate or they're not used to communicating, I don't know how this person was really raised or whatever the case may be. I started to take a position where I'm like, you know what, I gotta do better. I gotta do better with me allowing people in my space. So I had to take a time where it was like, you know what, God, I've been running from you for so long, making my own choices and decisions, and I've been getting hurt because of my own, decision making. I gotta do this again. And I need to say yes, Lord. So that's what made me decide to like really give my life back to Christ and give my heart to God, because I was I was breaking my own self. I was hurting my own self with what I accepted and what I was choosing. So yeah, I'm learning. I'm growing.
Keisha,
Huh?
you had something? I saw you raise your hand.
No, I was saying preach
Oh,
because
okay, okay.
yeah, you don't want to have a conversation now. We gonna step away from it, and you like really step away from it. So I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
hold on, this is unresolved. Let's retouch on this again, and then it's like another, like she said, another argument. You still on
Yeah.
that? Why are you bringing that up? I thought we was over that. No, we stopped talking about it. We weren't
Right.
over it. We swept it under the carpet, put it in the closet, and it's still here.
Just
Okay,
like
okay. So, Smiles 40, appreciate the comments. Pen that says the
Yes.
no communication and go on and act like nothing happened. Right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna give you a little bit of insight into the Mars mindset, right?
Okay, come on.
Okay. If it's something major and I don't want to talk about it, I'm probably going to avoid it. Typically, I've grown emotionally now, so I can kind of maneuver it a little bit better. I'm talking historically.
Okay.
okay.
I'm probably gonna avoid it until it just blows up.
Mm.
Now, if it's something small, because typically I'm not trying to argue anyway.
All right.
But if it's something small, I'm just giving y'all a tip on a possible way of being able to have this conversation.
Okay.
Right?
I'm listening.
Um, you have to go into your feminine energy and become more so nurturing and let your man know, like, listen, like, this isn't something that's going to end our relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Um, this isn't something that's going to destroy whatever it is that we have. However, I feel, and then if you've done your work, you can label it. I feel irritated, frustrated, unseen, forgotten, or whatever the case may be, based on some things that happen. And I really just want us to sit down and talk about it so you can understand how I feel. And then also I could understand your perspective, because your perspective could be just as valid as mine, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think what happens a lot of times is when you want to have a conversation out of emotion, you're not even considering the other person's perspective. You're not really considering their opinions or what they feel. You just really have the energy within you, and you really just want to get it out of you and throw it onto them.
Right. So,
Right?
question:
Sure.
I
What
was
do
about to
you do when you have thought it out,
nurtured.
figured out your approach on how you're going to come with it? You even may have some notes, and you are being totally outside of your usual self. And this person still comes back with that same BS.
Hmm.
What do you do?
I mean,
Yes, what do you do?
so here's the thing, right? One of my tenets in life coaching and then just in life is you can't always change the outside world, right? The simple solution to a lot of problems is to change the outside world, right? If you can change the outside world, then by all means, change it in your favor because
Mm-hmm,
that's the simplest solution. That's the A to B, right?
mm-hmm,
But we don't get to control people as much as we would like for people to conduct themselves the way we want them to, right?
mm-hmm,
We don't always get to control people. So now you've reached the point where you have to decide, okay, do I want to take my power back, right?
mm,
Right? Because it's easy to take your power back when it's just within you. It's
right.
a little more difficult when someone else has stake in whatever the outcome is, right?
Yes.
So if this person is simply non-negotiable, you have to make a decision. If you're going to leave, then it's easy. Okay, I don't really,
Right.
doesn't matter, right? But if
Mm,
you're going to stay, you're going to have to try and figure out how do I traverse these emotions and thoughts for myself, whether that's therapy, whether that's journaling, whether that's
mhm.
working out, whatever it is that you do, you're going to have to because every time you keep coming to me with this conversation, I got the block mode. Like you on offense, all I gotta do is keep blocking. Nah, Keisha. Nah, Vicky. Nah,
Right.
I gotta go to work. I gotta do it, and you can't stop it, right?
But when does it get resolved? Or am I just going to be okay that it's not going to get resolved?
You,
It may not. Sometimes the situations may have been small, but they meant something to someone. And she's spinning.
yeah,
They
I'm gonna move her out while she
Okay, they meant something to someone. And it might not have been as big. It could have been a small, medium problem. But the fact on how you addressed it is how it became a bigger problem. And you keep trying to ignore it. It's like my feelings don't mean nothing. I don't want to talk about this. Let's just keep sweeping these things under the rug. And even though they might not have been big life-changing things that would end our relationship, all of them small things start to make a mound under the carpet and knock the closet door open after a while. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, I understand. Let me ask y'all this. If you had to pick, the answer is both. But if you had to pick between the guy or yourself, whose job is it to create a communicative safe space?
Yourself.
Okay. But you want to communicate with me. You want to communicate with me, right? So this is what I'm saying. So whoever, and I'm not, there's not a hill I'm willing to die on. I'm just working through this in my mind in real time. Whoever has the issue, right, is going to have to be able to create the space where the other person feels comfortable enough to have the conversation. It's really about both. Like Smiles 40 said, it's really about both, right? But we all know how humans work. Like if you're accusing me of something, and in my mind I genuinely didn't do anything, or I'm just telling one of Vicky's white lies and I'm just gonna ride it out, right?
Right.
I'm going to be defensive, right? I'm going. It's natural. I'm going to be defensive. So you have this issue. You have to work out, but you need me to do it. So you're going to have to find a way to make it palatable for me to feel okay in coming into this. You understand?
Yeah, I got you. Come on, Vic.
So, okay, so I did my work, right? And
Mm-hmm.
I came off very nurturing and understanding. But then it was to the point to where the response was, you talking to me like I'm a child.
Okay. So I mean, you want my opinion on that?
Yes.
So this is just my thing. I don't know the person you're talking about, right?
Mm-hmm.
Black dude.
Huh?
Was he a black dude?
Mm-hmm. He was
So
younger than me. Let me just say that. He was younger than me, and I kind of figured that's probably the reason why I was talking to him like a child. Because he had a temper. So I
yeah.
was kind of to the point to where like, oh, I need to figure out how I'm going to come at him because I don't want to deal with, you know what I mean, the backlash. So that's why I got comfortable in I'm fine, because I didn't want to deal with that.
Yeah, I feel you. So I mean, like I said before, the same way with y'all is the same way with us. Like, you're not allowed to. You don't make me feel anything, right? If you can make me feel something, it's because I have that what's the word I'm looking for? That lack of self-confidence within me, right? You talking to me like a child is not going to make me feel like I'm a child, right? Unless there's some aspect of our relationship in which I do feel like a child. And that's probably what it was, because you were a little bit older than him. He probably came into it, or at some point within a relationship developed this, she thinks she my mom thing, right? And I mean, maybe you were being motherly and he didn't like that, or maybe he just has a complex, right? So I mean, that's something that he would have to deal with. Like, every issue ain't necessarily your issue. Sometimes people just have things within them that they need to that they have to work on, and you just the mirror that's showing it to them. Like, yo, you have a complex, right? Like, you hear people be like, I'm a grown man. Like, we can see that, but you don't have to prove that to any of us. Vicky buffering. Let's move out. You still there, Keisha?
I am here, bro.
Yeah. And so sometimes it's just a matter of noticing the I can't think of the word, but sometimes it's just the thing of note. It's just noticing the issues that people have within themselves,
Mm-hmm.
and kind of knowing how to navigate around that. No, I'm not talking to you like a child. I'm talking to you in a way that I feel comfortable communicating with you, and in a way that I think you can understand. And that's not about your level of let's say intelligence. I just don't want to get caught up in my emotions and come off as inarticulate. I want to be understood.
Thank
That's
you.
why I'm talking to you
Thank
in
you.
this way.
I've learned that some people, it doesn't even matter how you're talking. They're going to take offense to every single thing. So then there's a choice within yourself at that point. Like you said, am I going to continue to deal with this? Or, oh my
I
goodness.
know. I can't believe I accepted this invite. Y'all know
Yes,
I'm
you
always
did.
lurking in the curtains, just listening,
I
getting
know.
y'all inspiration and
Fuck
learning from
you,
your
boo.
listeners. What's going on, you guys? How are you?
We're good. Go ahead, Chills. Answer some
All
questions.
right, so I'm gonna ask you what's wrong with you, and you're gonna say I'm fine.
No,
Okay.
I'm not.
Just,
No.
yeah, you got to. That's how it goes for this company.
Oh, okay. We role playing. Okay.
Hey, Q, what's wrong with you?
I'm fine.
Q, real talk. Like, come on, what's wrong? What's wrong with you?
I'm all right. I mean, I'm good.
Why you can't just tell me what's wrong though?
I said I'm all right. I mean, you keep asking. I said I'm all right. I mean, I don't know what else you want me to say.
I'm saying no, Q. I'm asking because 75% of communication is nonverbal, right? And with the way you twisting your neck and you got your arms crossed and you turning your neck away from me and you tilting and all of this and all of that, I know something wrong with you. So you're not fine. Just admit it. You're not fine. So break, Q, because all women have done it, have told the white lie that they were fine. Have you matured past the I'm fine point, or you still use it every once in a while?
With me personally, I connected with the previous person you just had on. You know, I'm in that stage of just self-reflecting. You know, when you start attracting a certain type of person all the time and you're not, you know, getting you know, just the minimum thing that you need, like with her, you know, just to be heard. Like if she's noticing that she's attracting people who are not allowing her to be vulnerable or, you know, giving her that safety net, sometimes you have to self-reflect. Why am I allowing myself to be in this situation with that person? So, or attracting these certain type of people, you know, so I'm in the process of working on myself, you know, so that when the Lord and the universe puts that special person together, I'm able to receive the love and stuff that I need. Because sometimes it's there, but you don't know how to receive it too.
Truth.
Yeah, reception is very important, and I think especially when you talk about emotions, it's very important to be able to traverse emotional waters and receive it without being too offended and focusing on the solution as opposed to, because if you come to me with an issue, right? If I can stay focused on the solution, that helps us get towards the solution. But once I get caught up in the one thing that you say that triggers me, or that I really got to be defensive about, then it gets a little more difficult, because then we could actually get into an argument. Instead of us arguing about the fact that you were mad that I ordered the wrong food for you, now we arguing about the way I responded to you telling me about the fact that I ordered the wrong food for you. So we're not even trying to solve this.
Right. Well, we initially
about the way we're communicating.
That is so true. I can definitely agree with that. And I also like the fact that you brought up a person having the making you feel approachable in a relationship. Sometimes a person's reaction, if you're used to them reacting in a certain way, it kind of makes you hesitant to bring up certain things or certain important things, because I know he's gonna go off the handle if he hear this, so I know she's gonna feel this way. If I say that, and that can definitely, like you said, not make it a safe place for someone to feel as if they do, that they can talk to you about something. I think that's extremely important too.
Yeah, I mean, I think it could be difficult. Keisha, you got something?
Huh?
You got something?
No, I'm just listening.
Oh, okay.
You want to bring somebody else in here? You can bring me back.
I don't think it's nobody. Well, I mean, if somebody else want to come in, they could tap the button, but there's no.
Okay, I'm here. I'm multitasking. I'm cooking. It's Taco Tuesday.
I know. I need to come over there for a plate.
I know it's Taco Tuesday.
I'm fine.
Got everything on the stove going. The kids keep talking about I'm hungry. He's speaking in sign language and stuff. It's a whole thing over here.
Who?
My son is speaking in sign language, telling me that he's hungry.
What's his name? Caden?
Caden, yes.
What's up, Caden?
Caden, Chell said, what's up?
Dr. A. Hawk, if you want to come on, hit the button, let us know, because we would like for you to contribute as well. And I'd like to get down here, but I don't think it's no other guys in the room. My man Dream was in here, he left out. But yeah, so but this is what I was gonna say. It's very difficult to be nurturing or consoling when you're the one who has the issue. Right? Like if I'm mad at you, I ain't really trying to come kiss you on the forehead and be like, look, we need to talk. But if you can be emotionally strong enough to approach the situation in that manner, like nobody's really, it's difficult to fight back or be defensive with somebody who's being nice to you. Right? So if we could approach it in that way, knowing that, okay, this thing, especially if it's not going to end a relationship, it's like, this thing ain't going to end a relationship, then it's like, okay, why can't we talk about it?
I mean, that's true. That's true. But I mean, at the end of the day, what I've learned too, is that a partner can't read your mind. You have to speak up too.
Absolutely.
So I can't really expect to get something from that person if I don't allow them to pretty much be there for me. Like I can't just be like, oh yeah, he didn't show up. He's not showing his compassion. He's not this. And I can't always expect him to pick up on, like social cues. Right. Yes, I would want someone who knows me inside and out. But, what I've learned and what I'm still working on is actually speaking up. Because sometimes, an uncomfortable conversation, even though it's comfortable and some people might be on that fight or flight type situation, it's needed, and you need to be able to, like you said, emotionally able to express themselves and let them know, like, yeah, something is wrong with me. I need you. I love the way you put that too when you were you don't want to blame the person. Like you made me feel this way. You know what I'm saying? You want to say, when this, whatever occurs, I feel this way. when this happens, I feel this way. So I'm learning. I mean, I even like the way that you kind of like give examples on how to talk when you're not used to it, and when you're like a strong, well, not strong, but I guess I don't know if that's considered like masculine energy. If you have to be strong when strong is like no other choice for you, it's hard to really learn how to ask for help. So that's a good thing what you're doing too, giving people little scenarios on how to ask, because that's a job in itself, learning how to be vulnerable and how to ask and how to say,
Yeah,
I'm hurting.
it takes a lot, because you got to learn to be humble, and you got to learn to be like honest and open. And I think the key word really is vulnerable, right?
Mm.
And this is another trap I think that women fall into with men, right? Because men, we are the aggressive of the two, the physically more aggressive, right? More hands-on.
Mhm.
I think sometimes y'all want to meet us where we're at. And that doesn't sound right. But like, because I'm an aggressive being, you want to approach me in an aggressive way, right? Because you think that's what I'm going to respond to,
Right.
right? That's not what I'm going to respond to. Not coming from a woman, right? If me and Dream getting at it, me and Dream could go at each other all day, because that's what we do, right? But because Dream made, like, if you ever seen dudes argue over sports, and then one of them actually realizes they've lost the argument because they man is screaming at,
Yeah.
oh, you know what, y'all, you right, because that's how we communicate with one another, right?
Right.
It don't work like that between us and y'all, right?
That's true.
Y'all have
to challenge a man.
Yeah, well, but see, that's what happens because you're in your emotions. So you are in like anger is like a masculine energy, right? It creates action, right? Like you get angry and you do something.
Yeah.
But if you can take that anger and use it in a more subtle kind of way, more, I guess you could say, even, I hate this word, but maybe like a more manipulative or conniving, or just create a softer space, I'm more so going to respond to that, because if I meet verbal violence with violence.
That's true. But then sometimes when you, and this is maybe a little tiny bit off topic, but when you're too nice and too, it seems like guys want to take advantage. Like,
well, I'm talking about in a relationship though. I'm talking
okay, so not the single. Okay, let me tap in. Let me tap into that side of things.
I'm talking about
relationship too.
I'm talking about with somebody that that you've been with, or that you have a familiarity with. When you just learn something, who knows who this person could be? They could be a serial killer. They could be President Obama. You know what I'm saying? So,
True that.
But once you kind of learn this person and know this person, typically a man will be more willing to open up to his woman if he feels like the space is more so safe. Yeah, society, we're not really allowed to be vulnerable. If we are, then it kind of gets looked at as being soft and weak. And the last thing we want, I don't really care too much what the world think about me, right? My wife can't walk around thinking I'm soft. You know what I'm saying? My wife's not allowed to walk around here thinking I'm soft, because then I have a real live issue, right? The one woman whose opinion of me that truly matters in terms of my masculinity, she looking at me like, oh, this nigga soft. Oh, no, that's not gonna work for me.
Right. Lil ain't thinking that at all.
That's true. I love the way you put that. I love it. I love it. I mean, it's definitely another way to look at things, and it's important to really listen and just actually get this knowledge, so that you, in preparation for when when the Lord and the universe put my special person together,
he coming.
Know how to communicate. So I just love listening to y'all conversations.
Okay, cool.
I'm still
platform learning. And both of you guys. I've been following you guys, and I just love so much what you do. Just creating that space for everybody to just get together and discuss various topics and stuff. So, and the motivation that y'all be spitting all the time and everything, I really appreciate you guys.
Well, we appreciate you doing a wonderful job too. I'll be making sure that I like your posts. I know you got the podcast. Plug
yes.
Yes, y'all gotta come on again. Y'all gotta come on again.
I work almost every day of the week. So
I
said I work almost every day of the week. So when you're ready for me,
remember?
Let's go.
Sundays. We do our recording on Sundays. So
last week's show was amazing.
Which one? Which one?
Well, episode 44.
Everybody, oh yeah, that's the one I facilitated. Yeah.
And I got a topic from your episode that I want to talk about. I'll talk about it sidebar because I need to do the promo. But everybody, Q Gets Fit, her and her girls Do Life University. They are amazing. And they have their podcast, Do Life in Shit.
Yes, thank
Check
you
it
so
out.
much.
Go to her page. Follow her. I'm sorry, Chels. You know us podcast hosts sometimes take over other people's shows. But I just want people to know her because they're an amazing group of women that are out here doing boss things but still having fun with their life. So
Oh,
that's,
thank
I'm gonna be
you so
quiet.
much.
quiet.
Thank you so much. And I'm gonna order. It's your green shirt. It was a question I had. I think I wanted to know like how the fit was. Is it like a unisex fit? Or like for women, it was one that said it was like an army green one with the black letter.
Oh, you talking about the Inspire to Inspire?
Yeah, that's the
So,
one I wanted. I was like, I
um,
wanted to ask him. I wanted to comment on one of your posts and ask you like how the fit is for women.
so it's the premium T slim fit, right? So
Okay.
it's a little tight.
So just
So
get my normal size, like I medium, get medium.
I mean I get a medium. I get a medium in those because I kind of like how they fit a little tight, just a little bit tight, not too tight. But I don't know. I mean, if you get a medium and it doesn't fit you, you can give it to me. We'll work it out, and then
Oh, I got you.
we'll get you another one.
I like that. I like that. I like that. But thank you. I'm surprised I came more today. I really enjoyed this. I gotta tap in again.
Thank you.
Even your listeners, they be leaving their good comments in the their good stuff in the
Yeah.
comments. I be lurking.
Yeah, we got a real good community going here.
Yeah,
You
Talk about
do.
each other, learning. Like yesterday, they had me in the gas chamber yesterday.
Oh
What?
Lord, yes, we
Oh
did.
my God!
What's
they had me-
that? Oh, see,
Oh,
I missed it. I
long
missed it.
story short, and I think I'm gonna bring Jay and somebody else in next. But long story short, Dr. J and Julie Bean had me in the electric chair death row gas chamber because I asked my wife that I think it was the day before the wedding what time I was supposed to be there, and she said 12, but I knew the wedding didn't start till 5. So I got there like 2:30.
Why would you do that? You know
Exactly.
We're not
Exactly.
going down this road, y'all know.
Okay.
And I was in the comments yesterday.
When I come on your podcast, right?
Okay.
you can press me out about it. But I did apologize. I apologize. I acknowledge my wrongs. I acknowledge that I should have been there at 12. And I also should have asked what was the reasoning for me being there 5 hours early so that I could have a better understanding.
Of what
Look
was
at
going
you,
on.
bro.
See?
You done
See,
came
I love
back with
that
all the things you learned
self-accountability.
from yesterday. Kudos. I love
Yes, I love that self accountability. I
Come
love
on.
that. We should give that out. I wish more people had that.
Yeah.
But that's you gotta take your power back. Sometimes
Right.
I took my L yesterday, and I think it was Dr. Hawk said somebody said after 7 years. I'm like, hey, sometimes
Did you guys repost it, baby? I should look at the I see Dr. Talk in the comments.
It's on YouTube. So if you go to YouTube and you search Marcello Bradley or IAmChellsX or What's Up With You,
I hope I'm following you on YouTube. Okay, I would definitely do that.
It's there. That's a good way to plug. I just started posting these to YouTube. So this one should get
Is that a
tomorrow.
video?
If you want to watch the full, if you miss some of it, you want to catch it, it'll be on YouTube tomorrow sometime. So
Yes, because
Yes.
nuggets. Y'all be dropping them nuggets. So
yeah,
I definitely will. But thank you so much for having me on your platform.
appreciate you.
Anytime.
Thanks, Bill.
All right, take care.
All right, peace.
Before I go, your boy here wants to say hi.
Hold on one second. Hold on one second.
You
Hold
want
on
to be shy now?
1 second.
You don't want to tell Chels take your power back, like you were saying earlier.
Come on, Kaden. Take
Come
your
on,
power
kid.
Take your power back.
You gotta take your power back. Isn't that what you say? Hey, Jay. Okay, well, go on then. You
All
don't want to tell.
I'm gonna let
You
you
got
on
kids
too.
shirts?
I'm gonna bring a guy. We can have a guy.
Okay.
I don't appreciate it.
Love y'all.
Love you too. Mike, you got all that jingling going on over there. All them keys and stuff. I think we got a guy in the room. Let's see who we got. Yeah, Dr. Hawk was in the Dr. Hawk was in the comments yesterday, brutalizing me for showing up 2.5 hours early to the wedding. Jay, Dr. J, what's good? I can't hear you. You gotta unmute your mic.
I said, I'm good. How are you doing?
I've been pretty tired most of the day, but I feel pretty good in that piece right now. I enjoy doing the show. I see that your thumbs with your Twitter fingers or your IG fingers were on fire.
No, they were not on fire. And I think I actually went out and came back in. So, okay, Vicky says she agreed. So, just so I'm clear on what the topic of conversation is, what exactly is the question that you were asking? So I know the
In
way
terms
it
of
started out.
you talking in terms of the topic?
Yeah, but what I came in on was you saying um something about men and how you all something, I don't know, say you said something about men and then you all saying something to us in regards to, I guess, how we're feeling, or you hurting our feelings per se.
Oh,
Like if we say that you hurt our feelings, you say y'all check out right then.
so okay. So what I was saying is that even though you're the one who has the emotions or has an issue with, say, me, right? The way in which you approach me about it is going to dictate how I'm going to respond, right? So if you say to me, "You made me feel,"
Mm-hmm.
I'm almost always going to be defensive to that, and that's obviously nothing. We're not speaking absolutes, right? But I'm almost always going to be like, "What are you talking about? I didn't make you feel anything," especially if I feel like I didn't do anything wrong. So what I was saying is that it's very important for you to find a way to approach the situation in a non-accusatory way, so that I can be more receptive to it.
So I'm gonna say we as women, because you said that when women say, you did say that, right? Because I don't want to misquote that
Yeah.
when
Hold on,
we
hold on.
say
But before you go, it's applicable both ways, right? It's really whoever has the issue, right? I'm not saying that men don't do it, but typically women are the ones who be like, "I'm fine."
yeah.
But carry on.
Okay. So what would be a better way to come to you and say to men, you hurt my feelings, without saying you hurt my feelings? Is there a better way to start the conversation?
It's more so like when this happened, I felt irritated. I felt hurt when this happened, because now we're talking about the event, right? As opposed to it being accusatory. Events happen. Everything is an event, right? Right. So when this happened, it made me feel hurt. It made me feel lesser than, right? As opposed to you made me feel lesser than. Because the objective really is for you, the person with the issue, to be able to communicate how you feel and why you feel the way you feel with this other person, right? But you don't want to just tell them for them to hear it and then be done with it. You want them to be receptive to it. So you have to approach them in a way that they're most likely, or more likely, I should say, to be receptive to it. Because if I feel like you're accusing me of intentionally hurting your feelings, and that wasn't my intention, I'm going to give you pushback on that. I'm just saying, like, man, hold on. Let me bring my man Dream in here. Wait.
Oh Lord. I deal with both
Oh,
of y'all at the
gang,
same
gang. Y'all
time.
ganged up on me yesterday. It's
Oh,
gang,
because
gang. Dream,
yesterday, no, where's
dream,
Julie at?
dream to the
No,
stage. Dream to the
you got the
stage. Dream
power to, no,
to the
you
stage.
got the
Dream
power to
to
put 4 people in
the
here. You
stage.
gotta.
Yeah, boy.
Vicky,
We
come
back
back.
in the
Vicky,
building.
come
We
back, Vicky.
back from vacation. We back about to shut it down.
No, don't you? No, you gonna bring Dream, my guy though, but you gonna bring Dream in here because yesterday you got tag team. Yesterday, Chels.
Hold up. Linda, honey, listen. Listen, man. Y'all gave me the work yesterday, and I'm not bringing Dream in just because so we can tag team on you and because Julie ain't here. And Vicky, we'll
Vicky
bring you
said,
back.
bring her back.
But I ain't having four. We ain't doing four. But but because it's very important for the guys to be able to express our opinions. Now, Dream, I don't know how much you've been listening, but I'm sorry, Jay, were you done?
I wasn't, but go ahead.
Nah, nah, nah. I want you to be able to finish your thought or your.
Exactly, because you said you're not fine, so we're gonna actively we're gonna actively listen and let you communicate, so we can hug it out at the end, so we can get on the same page.
Exactly.
So,
Because men do want the truth.
okay. All right. Well, that's nice to know. Um, so, all right. So you said, Chels, you
Mm-hmm.
said that it's better or not better. I may be misquoting you, but to say you made me feel this way or I felt this way. Is that what you said, or did I
It's
miss it?
better to look. It's better to take the event, right, and frame it around the event as opposed to the actual person, right? So instead of saying you made me feel lesser than, when this happened, it made me feel lesser than. Because now we're dealing with an event as opposed to you being accusatory towards me. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, but even yes, I understand what you're saying. But even if I say when this happened,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I'm still leading into how it made me felt. What is the difference in me saying you made me feel as opposed to me still leading into it?
Because one is accusatory and the other one is framed based on an event, right? Anytime if I accuse you, Jay, of doing something, right, intentionally that you didn't do, your initial reaction is gonna be like, what? I ain't do that. That wasn't my intention. You're gonna give me pushback, right? So now we arguing about whether or not I actually did the thing, right? But if the event happened in physical reality or in actuality, there's not really a debate about what happened. There's only a debate or discussion about how it made you feel and what my intentions were and how I felt about it, which now we can discuss. But if you're coming to me and saying, um, Chels, you made me feel irritated. Chels, you made me feel irritated, right? But if you come to me, you say, hey, Chels, when I was talking and then you started talking, that irritated me, right? Because now we're talking about an event as opposed to my direct intention, and it's a very thin line, but excuse me, between the two. But that's how communication works. One word could change the way it's going to be received.
Okay.
Right.
So, go ahead, Dream.
And also perspective. Something may have happened that you might have perceived that might have not have happened, or something might have happened that I might not have perceived it. So I need that understanding. That's why we always come to us and talk about the situation instead of pointing the finger.
So, okay. So even if you're coming to the man and saying, okay, when this happened, it made me feel. That's still not going to make you feel like I'm accusing you. I mean, is it that because this is the way I feel. I'm just gonna be very honest, and I put it in the comment. I put it in the comment. I feel like when you've been with a person, or I'm like I said, I'm going to put it directly towards me. You've been with a person for a certain amount of time. I feel like you know what buttons are being pushed and when you are hurting a person's or significant other female's feelings. I absolutely believe that because I mean, you get to see the emotion of the feeling being hurt as well. There are ways that are displayed that you are hurting someone's feelings versus them even vocalizing it to you.
Okay, but I mean, but you're kind of talking about. It sounds to me like you're talking about a situation where I know you well enough to push your buttons, and I'm doing it intentionally.
No, I'm also not even no, not that. I'm saying pretty much you know a person well enough to know that you hurt this person's feelings. So what difference is it going to make how I say it to you or not?
Because it's an assumption you're assuming that I know that I hurt your feelings, right? That's why I titled it I'm fine, because a lot of the times y'all think that we know what's actually wrong with y'all and we really don't, right?
Right. I said men are simple. A lot of times, some women overthink the whole process, overthink it. He hurt my feelings. You did this. I cannot automatically assume that I hurt your feelings. Um, That's why communication and setting that foundation at the beginning is so important. It's so important. Past issues may cause present issues because it may have not been discussed to start off with. Because we all know male, female. When we hear those words that, hey, I need to talk to you, or hey, can we have a conversation? A lot of men automatically shut down because they're thinking like, what did I do now? Or what's going on now? Or what did I do? Their mind is racing. So a lot of times women, y'all have the answers, but y'all want to hear what the men going to say to see what y'all going to think instead of saying, hey, this is what I know. Because like you already know the research, you already know the answer, but you're prolonging the conversation instead of just having a simple conversation to get straight to the point and say, hey, I feel this way. It's simple. And tone, delivery makes a big difference. And the situation. Now, if I come home and you sit on the couch say we need to talk, I'm like, oh Lord, what happened? What happened?
What we need to talk about?
Exactly. So
Okay.
know your man, know the situation, so you can have a productive conversation. And as even saying having this is what we're going to do at the end. No matter what is said, we're going to hug and kiss it out because we're not leaving each other. We're not going to leave each other. So put that positive spin, the sandwich method. Positive conversation, back to positive.
Okay. So let me ask a question. Can I ask another question? And either one of you can answer.
Hold on, real quick, Jay. I want to give you. Are you going to be able to remember it? Your question?
Yeah.
Okay. Rod goes out with his boys one night, and he comes home later than what you felt he should have. Right?
Mm-hmm.
It would be much better for you to say, I feel abandoned, as opposed to you saying, you abandoned me. I'm telling you, Jay, trust me. It's going to be, I'm not saying it's going to be the best conversation that you ever had. What I'm saying is you have a better chance of having a progressive conversation with that approach than with you made me, or you abandoned me, or you made me feel this way. You disrespected me. I ain't disrespect you. I was out hanging with Dream. What you talking about? Right?
Mm-hmm.
Perspective of how you felt.
It matters. I'm telling you, I promise y'all, it genuinely matters. And I'm not saying every conversation is going to go the way you want it to, but
right.
the person to be receptive, right? It behooves you to find a more delicate, softer way of approaching them, as opposed to just being straight out accusatory. Because as soon as you accuse me, I'm ready. I'm like, nah, yeah, nope,
Mm-hmm.
nope.
And stubborn. You can't be stubborn. Even now, Jay, you're stubborn. You have men telling you how to approach us. And a lot of women, I won't say a lot of women, some women still want to do it their way instead of adjusting to how the
Well,
relationship should go.
okay. So let's just point this out. So stubborn. Why is it that we're stubborn? Because we're not saying it in a way that is more receptive to y'all, but y'all aren't stubborn in being receptive to the way that we are going to say it to you. That's not stubbornness?
Go
Go
ahead,
ahead.
Cheryl.
Go ahead, Dream.
No, no, I'm saying it can't be stubbornness, but know your partner, adjust the situation. Shell said this earlier. Come to how it'll make us feel a little bit easier because you're coming to us with the conversation. You're coming to us because you need to talk. So make that situation as easy as possible so you can get the result that you really want. You want to get that conversation through. So when you're bringing that conversation, I don't know what's going on because of past results. Men feel a certain way. Women feel a certain way. Coming to that middle ground. Men can be stubborn, yes. I never said no man can be stubborn, but you're coming to us with the conversation because you want to talk, no matter what you may want to talk about.
So real quick, Jay, we're having a conversation with the female basically being the one who has the issue because it's a guy show and that's just kind of how it's framed. But the principles still apply, right? Like if I have an issue with my wife or Dream has an issue with his wife, the principles still apply. Whoever has the issue, even though they may have been the person who was wrong or feel like they were wrong, they're the ones seeking a particular outcome. The other person might not even know there's an issue, right? So if I need for you to understand where I'm coming from, I got to be able to bring it to you in a way that you're going to be receptive. But Jay, what was your question though? Because I don't want to lose it before we move on.
My question was, you had made a comment about when we say, I guess when we start our conversation with you, pretty much with certain phrases or certain words, you guys shut down. Why do you shut down? Why
Because
do y'all shut down?
because off the rip, you're accusing me, right? So, and what you're really doing is, and I'm telling you, from my perspective, it's an assault on my character, right? You're accusing me of intentionally doing something to hurt you, and that's not the case. And if you come to me accusing me of committing a murder that I either A, know I didn't do, or B, I know I committed this homicide in self-defense, I'm going to be like, oh, nah, cuz that is not it. That's not what was going on. And I'm going to give you pushback, right? Because you're already attacking my morals. And my natural defense mechanism is that, and everyone in America thinks this, I'm a good person, right? I'm good, and the other person's bad. But good and bad are subjective. So if you come to me and tell me that I did something to you that's negative, I made you feel negative, instantly you're telling me, you're basically coming to me and say, Charles, you're the bad guy. And I'm gonna be like, no, I'm not the bad guy. That doesn't mean I didn't make a mistake, right? Or the event didn't cause you to feel a certain way, but you're not gonna turn around and turn me into the Joker.
Right.
Because
Okay.
if you do, I'm gonna go wreck Gotham.
Right. And I'm reading the comments as well. Ladies, if you want different results, we have to handle it a different way. You
But
can't keep
why is
doing
it?
the same. See, you can't keep doing the same thing over and over and over. Tone, delivery. Because if I came home late, or your man or whoever's man came home late, and you felt some kind of way, and you're like, you came home late. It's too. You know what time you're. Or automatically gonna be defensive. Automatically they're gonna be
You know
defensive.
that you coming home late. You know that you coming home late. So that's not accusing you. You knew you walked in the door late. And you probably know it's going to be a topic of conversation. So what difference is it going to make how I come to you to say it or display it when you know coming through the door, you coming through the door late? I'm
Because
just,
if you
you know.
because if I come through the door and you say, hey, is everything okay? I'm gonna be like, yeah, I'm good. Why? And you be like, well, because you coming in kind of late, and that makes me feel, like abandoned. And I'm gonna be like, oh no, it wasn't my intention to make you feel abandoned. I'm just out having fun, lost track of time. But if I hit the door and you abandoned me, like, shorty, what is you talking about, young? Nah, pump your brakes, scrap off the rip.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm telling you, Jay, listen, I'm a
No,
guy. I've been a guy all my life, Jay. I'm telling you, right?
okay, I'm listening, but you use the hypothetical situation
Yeah.
with me and Roy, but I deal in reality. But for me, it's this. You're saying me coming at you like, oh, you abandoned me. I would choose a different word. But
Okay.
Okay.
for me, I'm saying this. You know you're out late. You know you out late. So you already know you off the rip being late was A, wrong. B, going to cause some type of discussion or confrontation, whichever word you choose to use in that moment. So it's like
Okay.
we have to switch the narrative of how we approach y'all, but you didn't have to switch the narrative of coming in late in the first place to be able to have that conversation. And now you want to
So
have the
tell me,
conversation with you.
so Jay, tell me this: coming
What's
home
up?
late. Are you going anywhere? Are you leaving a relationship?
Uh, nah, no.
No. No. So I always say, if we're going to use this hypothetical situation, think positive, because it could be,
Wait, wait,
it
wait,
could have been.
wait, wait.
It,
One second. How many times does he come in late, Dream? How many times is this?
We'll just say one for now, and then we get to the multiple times because there's different ways you can handle it as well. So if we gave a time frame of say midnight, I'll be home, and I came home at 1 o'clock in the morning. Automatically, in your in a woman's mind is that we set a time. He's late and he's not in this house. It could be a car accident. It could be I'm having a good time with the fellas and lost track of time. It's never a response of, "Hey, baby, are you okay? I didn't get your message or whatever. Are you okay?" It's all most of the time. It's off the rip. But no matter the situation, you're not going nowhere. So it's easy to have a conversation. Say, "Baby, I was missing you. I know we said 12 o'clock." Once you start putting that perception out there, it makes the conversation go a whole lot easier. Go ahead, Shells.
Jay, real quick, and then I'm gonna let you slide off because I'm gonna bring my man Mikhail in here, and we're gonna have all Mars on here. If I stay out late, I think the issue that occurs is you take me staying out late as like I'm doing it intentionally to make you feel a certain way, right? I can lose track of time, right? No, but if you're gonna say to me, I feel you made me feel this, then I'm interpreting that as she thinks I did this intentionally.
Because of the way I feel. Okay, so if you're staying out multiple times late, at that point I'm starting to feel like you're disrespecting me. Because
Okay.
we already had a conversation about you coming through our door late. As a married man, and you're continuously doing it, you're disrespecting me because we've had this conversation before. That's the way I'm feeling. So the first time, yeah, I'm gonna ask, okay, are you okay? Once I see that you're okay, yeah. But for me, I feel like the foundation is laid. As a married man, you're not walking through the door multiple times, 2 and 3 and 4 times. No, like I'm gonna start to feel disrespected. But I heard everything y'all said. I heard everything.
All right, Jay, we're gonna let you slide over and bring my man.
Thank you, Dream.
I got you, Jay.
Jay will be back tomorrow. Jay had the smoke for me yesterday. Let's get Mikhail in here and get his perspective. We can have an all Mars panel.
Right.
For a couple of minutes.
And what's late? What's late? Mikhail, what's going on, my brother?
That was my question. What is late? I need to know what is late. We grown. What the hell? Now,
Right.
I get the respect part, but we got to get away from this possession shit. Because I heard her. She switched it, said our, but she first said my house. My man, my husband, my house. It's because it's possessive. So when you feel like you control it. And when you don't have that control, that's when it's arguments. Men don't like to be controlled. Period. Don't tell me what to do. And my wife's sitting right here looking at me, and she know. Don't tell me what to do, because I'm gonna do the opposite, even when it's the right thing to do. You know what I'm saying? Because you ain't gonna tell me what to do.
I understand where she's coming from, because see, if the shoe was on the other foot, would you not have reacted a certain way? Let me come in the house after a certain hour or a certain time.
It ain't about letting you. See, that's the thing. It's not about letting you. I let you make your own decisions. Based on that decision, there's consequences. Now, what about the homie that said, women and men are different? Let's just get that on the table. Nobody in society wants to accept that, but that's a fact. Women and men are different. We are not getting sex trafficked, okay? We're not getting kidnapped. We're not getting killed. We're not getting slipped drinks. It may be a few, but on a regular, that's not happening to us. It's happening to our females and our kids. So as a man, we're going to be protective of that. And I don't control what time you come in the house. It's just, hey, if you come in late, we need to have a conversation. But what's late? Did we determine that up front? You know what I'm saying? Like, did he say, I'm going to be in at 12, I'm going to be in at 1, I'm going to be in at 2? Or did late just happen because you figure, oh, you know what? It's 12:30 and that's late, nigga. It's the next day. So there should have been a conversation up front about what late is.
All right, hold on. So
am I right or am I right?
You're wrong.
I don't want no smoke between the married couple. Jay wants to come back in, so I'm gonna let Jay come back in because I think she has a retort Kel.
Mhm.
This
Totally,
But
is
I totally promote marriage. I'm sorry. I don't want no smoking. I totally promote and respect marriage,
Mhm.
but we got to get away from the possessive part of our partners.
what you about to say, Dream? You about to say something?
I want to say, really, there shouldn't be no time frame of being late. I think it's more of communication. If you go out somewhere, just communicate with your partner. There should be no time frame, because if you're going out to a dinner, if you're going out of town, if you're going to go pick up the kids out of state, if you're going to the casino, all that good stuff, just constant communication. Say, hey, boo, I'll be home by 12. If you're running late, hey, I'm just going to be by another hour or two. I'm hanging out with the fellas at the bar. Whatever that time frame is. So having a time frame of when time you're supposed to be back, it's just all about communication, not having no hard set time,
Okay.
especially when we're grown.
All right. So before we go,
Some people,
hold on, Mikhail. Hold on. Before we go, this gonna be it. So we're gonna let Jay say her piece. We'll let Mikhail say his piece. Dream will say his piece, and then I sign off. So, Jay, you want to go first?
Sure.
Okay, go ahead.
So what I heard him say was, I'm gonna touch on the points that he said. First of all, he said something about possessiveness. I'm not possessing you. If the conversation was, I don't know what part you came in on, that I said if you're coming into the door, my door, our door, however you want to word it, and the sun is rising, you're late. Yes, you are late. I feel that way. It's not about possessiveness, it's about respect. No, you're not going to be walking in the door as a married man. Yeah, we're all grown, but the foundation, as you said, has been laid. I've been married almost 10 years. So the foundation in 10 years has been laid. Do not come through the door at 2, 3, 4 in the morning when we've had this conversation multiple times. It's not about possessiveness. It's about respect. Because I feel like if I've had the conversation with you before and you're continuously coming through the door late, now you're disrespecting me. And now we're entering into a whole different conversation. It's not about
I agree.
possessiveness, it's about respect.
I agree with you there. That's definitely a problem if you had the conversation. When I came in, I heard it said once,
At
and
one
that's
time,
why
I'm
I
gonna
said.
ask you, are you
That's
okay?
why I said,
When you,
what's late? What's considered late? Has that conversation been had?
yeah, the conversation has been had. That's what I'm saying. Like
So
when he
what's late?
when hmm,
So what's late?
what's late is anytime after we already had the conversation the first time is late. So if you came through the door the first time at 1 a.m. and we had a conversation after I see that you're of able body and able mind and you're okay, and we've had the conversation, and I'm like, okay, you coming through the door at 1, 2 in the morning, whatever, and then you continuously are doing it, like I said, then now I feel like you're being disrespectful. I feel like you're disrespecting me.
Wait, did he agree with you that that was late? Was that the final of the conversation? You know what, babe? I agree with you. That is late. Or did he say, I don't think that's late?
So let's go back. So whether you agreeing with me or not, the conversation was, we've had the conversation. So it's about entering into the conversation of a different manner, which is what, my good brother Dream said, at the way that I approach it. And Chels, the way I approach him and how I'm conveying to him that I feel this way, or when you did this, it made me feel this way. I'm not going to
Right.
say a bad,
So
I wouldn't
you
use that word. I'm honest.
saying
So the thing,
because you felt that was late, then he has to accept that. Now that's late. So you done hit the gavel. That's it. That's what late is. You got to conform to that. So
So y'all
there
we
was
agree
do.
no
on?
What'd you say?
compromise. I'm saying, was there a
Well,
compromise, or was that the end all be all?
I think so. I think what Jay is saying is like the first time he came in at a time that she felt was too late. They had a conversation about it. He's having the
And he,
conversation with the idea that they've established what the boundary is. So we could say it's 1:30, right? So if he comes in after 1:30, he already knows that he's late and she has an issue with it. And she feels, excuse me, she feels disrespected because he's disrespected the boundary of 1:30.
right, I get that. But a lot of times in our conversations with our mate, I'll be honest, the woman will say something, and we heard everything she said, and we didn't agree with it. But in her head, we agreed with it. But I never agreed that that was late. So now you holding me to a standard from that one conversation. That's why I said, did we walk away clearly and concisely? We agree that this is late and this won't happen without communication. Because some things do happen beyond our
Jay,
control. this won't happen without
Okay,
communication.
Jay. So
Did he walk away with that
okay,
understanding?
So I'm not gonna say 1:30. I'm gonna say if the sun is touching the sky, you should be home before the sun is touching the sky. Late is late is late. If we had the conversation about the boundary of the lateness multiple times and you are continuing to do it, I'm going to say this again. Now I feel like you are disrespecting me. That's like if you said it to me and I continue to do it, you're going to feel like you're being disrespected at some point. Yeah, the
I,
conversation, listen, yeah,
I
you
agree
agree
with you
to it.
because
We
you said
talked about it.
multiple times you having this conversation. Multiple times. So I'm
Okay.
guessing now that the times are different when he walked in because we went from
Okay, so if we had hypothetical the conversation one time, and I'm displaying to you that hey, this is an issue. This is an issue, and I'm saying it. And however, my good brothers told me to say it. Yes, I feel like it's established that, and then you're gonna do it again. You know what you walking into if you're gonna do it again. Like your partner. Let's not play this game like we don't know our partners. We know what's gonna tick them off and what's not gonna tick them off or frustrate them. Should I say the word frustrate? That's better. That's a better word.
nah,
what
you could choose
I,
whatever word you want to. But what I'm telling you is, as a general rule, if you're frustrated, right, and you want to have a conversation, you want to have a productive conversation with somebody that you're frustrated with, it's best to be conscious of the way in which you approach them, regardless of the circumstances, right? Because what happens is thoughts and emotions are energy, right? And we are the energy carriers, right? So we carry them in our physical vessel. So you're not going to come at me negatively or accusatory with your frustration and think that I'm not going to receive that frustration. And then we're going to have an argument, which is an exchange of frustrating energies, right? But if your goal is for me to understand how my actions made you feel, then it's important that you come to me in a more progressively communicative way, as opposed to just throwing your frustration at me, because I promise you, I'm going to throw it back, even if I know I'm wrong.
I said that in the beginning, right? Even if I know I'm
Right.
wrong, if I start feeling like I'm being controlled, I'm gonna do the exact opposite just because I'm not. If I let you control me on this, you'll control me on everything. But if you come to me, if I love you, we in a marriage and I love you, and you communicate to me effectively that something is really bothering you, and it's not accusatory, I'm gonna receive it and be able to say, you know what? Because I love her, I don't want to hurt her like this. So I'm gonna change something. I'm gonna sacrifice whatever I got going on to make sure her feelings are thought about. But when it comes to accusatory,
So
like
so
use the
to
phrase,
me,
like,
control. I'm just gonna we could go on all night about the whole control word, because control to me is, you said something about before about that's ego. To me, you sitting here saying something about somebody trying to control you. I'm not gonna say somebody, I'm gonna say your wife, whoever you chosen to walk through life with, controlling you. No, I'm not trying to control anything. I'm expressing to you what is frustrating to me. So you are trying to be controlling by doing it again to upset somebody. And to answer the person's question in the chat, I'm talking to my man, not my child. But it's like, no, I don't understand that. It's multiple things. It's
now,
multiple times that you're doing this. It's not about
Right.
control, it's about respect. That's what it's about.
So one
right?
thing I would say, if it's happening multiple times, there is a deeper issue that's going on other than coming in late. There's a deeper issue than coming in late, and all we're saying to you is delivery and tone. Transferring of energy matters. If you're trying to get to a bottom line of an answer of why I was being late, maybe you need to sleep it off to the next day. Because if you're coming in angry and frustrated, it's going to cause a problem and issue that night. No matter what time late is, whether the sun is coming up with myself, so relax. If you're not going nowhere, that's the point. A lot of us argue, fight, and fuss. We're not going nowhere. So have the conversation the right way
You
and
keep saying
communicate. That's it. And communicate. And
Because
communicate.
this is very important, and I said this before, and I'm going to say it again. I think that a lot of women think that because men are the more aggressive beings, that we're going to respond to you coming at me in an aggressive way. I'm going to respond aggressively because that's my nature, right? And I'm not talking about physical violence, But how you come at me is how I'm gonna come back at you, because that's what we do. If I'm a Commanders fan and Dream is a Cowboys fan, he come in my house talking shit, we gonna get it in, right? That's what we do. But if he comes in, he's humble and he's like, yo, like if I got the Commanders murals, and he's like, yo, this joint is actually pretty nice. I mean, obviously I'm not a fan, but your setup is nice. Now we can sit here and watch the game. We can joke, we can laugh, and everything gonna be cool regardless of the outcome. But he come in calling my team trash. I'm like, my team trash? No.
Exactly. And
I
I can
think
come in. I can come in the house, apologize. My phone died. My phone died, so I can communicate with you or whatever. And,
Dream, I'm not fooling with you today. I'm not fooling with you today. Like, Julie, right. So y'all can do wrong, but we got to be nice in return.
no, 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 no,
Okay.
no.
wait.
Real
That's
quick, real quick. And then I'll let you go, Mikhail. Insanity is committing the same action over and over again, expecting a different result, right? And it's something that we all do at some point in our lives. But all we're telling you, as a general rule for communicating with your husband, other people in society, the way in which you approach them is almost always going to dictate how they respond to you. And I can promise you that it's true because I'm a cop. I deal with people who hate my guts, right? But the way in which I approach them typically dictates how they respond to me. Even if I gotta take them to jail. No matter how frustrated I am, as much as see, here's the thing, here's what it really is. A lot of people have a difficult time communicating when they are experiencing what they perceive to be negative emotions. And that's the bottom line. Because if you could actually effectively communicate why you were angry, why you were sad, why you were irritated, and why you were frustrated, then a lot of those interactions would turn out to be more so positive as opposed to negative. And
Okay.
Exactly.
I'm not saying that you weren't wrong or that you're wrong for feeling that way. I'm just saying there has to be a better way of expressing it if we're going to get to this good outcome. If we ain't worried about the good outcome, who cares? Say what you want to say.
Right. I mean,
Exactly.
this was a hypothetical, but I mean,
Right.
Hmm.
but like I said, if I communicated it too, because you said you did use Rod, so if it's been communicated to Rod in the first conversation that this is
Mm-hmm.
how I feel. I can't. Julie said that you better ask for your man phone to Dream. So, I
His phone
mean,
died too.
the oh Lord, the next display of emotion is going to be frustration or whatever you want to label it as, because the
Okay.
conversation was already had in a very respectful tone, in a very communicative tone, and you're doing it again.
Okay, Jay, I got a question for you. I host this
Sure.
I host this show every day. One of my pet peeves is when people come on and they just start talking because we'll be in the middle of a conversation. Now we got a regular crew here now, so typically everybody know when they come on, they don't just start rapping. So if someone came on and said, "Hey, listen," they started talking and say, "Hey, listen, you gotta be quiet at first because it messes up the audio, right?" And then the next time, 2-3 days later, they come on and I'm like, "Yo, what the fuck? Cuz I just told you, don't come in here with that bullshit. You frustrating me." You're gonna be like, "God damn, Chels, like." What's all of that about? Are you not?
That's how you feel.
But if the goal is for people to feel comfortable to come and sit and talk to myself and Dream and you and Mikhail and Julie and Sam or whoever else is up here, it would behoove me to approach them in a particular way. I could be more stern about it, right? But the way in which I approach them is going to dictate whether or not them and other people want to come communicate with me.
Right. And I'm reading in the comments a lot, like being submissive. When is a man going to do it? Men do it in a different way. That we having a conversation without you even knowing it, because it could be over dinner, pillow talk, walking on the phone, text. We still having those conversations, getting our point across. So men and women handle things differently, and we have to understand that we handle things differently. If you come in at crack of dawn, and I'm not gonna be banging on and say, "Hey, what the fuck?" We may handle that differently. We're gonna handle that differently. But if I have an issue, I want to get to a resolution with you. we need to communicate in a calm fashion, because if I come at you yelling at you, you're gonna bring it back at to me. Because if I'm yelling at you, Jay, you're not gonna come talk to me softly if I'm yelling at you.
If
Mikhail,
I
what you
do
Thank
got?
you.
softly, you better be watching out.
Mikhail, wife, what
But
y'all got for me?
I gotta slide off because you know the king calling me. I gotta go.
All right,
All
peace.
right.
Hey, be nice.
I'm always nice to him. He been with me since.
Bye, Jay. Nice. Go talk to Rod. That was good. Mikhail, what you got before we slide off? You still there?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm gonna let her talk.
Oh, go ahead. Jasmine, right?
Yeah.
Now,
Good,
she just
good.
said what she had to say.
I said what I said. I stand by everything I said already.
No, I mean, I understand where she's coming from a woman's perspective, because men too, y'all, sometimes y'all do it to me. I can personally speak on him. Sometimes there's things that we'll have a discussion about, and if I do it again, he's like, yo, we already kind of, had this, like, you're not a kid, we grown, we know how to communicate effectively, and if something, if you're going to be late for whatever, or you're not going to be ready at a certain time, like, you know how to say something about it. So it's two-way street as far as the communication goes, but at the end of the day, for a female, because we do seem to respond with our emotions, that can get in the way of how we address you and how we approach what we are going to say to you, because we already at the tip of the iceberg. Like, we already here. Once you done messed up, we already here. So it's going to be kind of hard to pull it back down some and come to you calmly, respectfully, or however you want us to come and have a conversation.
But that's all he was saying. You could be totally right in your argument,
Right.
but totally delivery. Wrong in your delivery.
Right.
Right.
Exactly.
And I want to. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Sometimes it's hard for women because we don't know how to. Well, I'm not going to say all women. Me personally, sometimes it's hard for me to separate my emotions from, facts. You got to work on facts. And sometimes it's hard for me to do that because I'm, like I said, I'm already at the tip of the iceberg. I'm ready to pop off and everything, but he ain't hearing me. If I'm up here, he ain't hearing me.
But if you come like that with me, the late gonna turn into see you tomorrow. I ain't gonna argue. I ain't gonna say argue.
Right.
I need peace.
Well, it goes back to what I was saying before, though. It's about being able to effectively communicate while experiencing negative emotions, right? If I've been angry on this show with people before, right? I still have to be able to communicate and operate this thing. Because if I get angry and shut the whole thing down, then it's just shut down for that particular live, right? And that can't happen, right? So I have to be able to articulate my point every day, day in and day out, under stress, bright lights, dream head, so-and-so head, the joint messing up, somebody stuck. I'm frustrated too, but I have to be able to keep it going. Now, in relationships, a lot of the times, our benefit is that we actually have the time to sit and brood over these things, right? And that's why I tell people it's important that you journal your emotions. So all the things that you know are going to hurt this person, the vitriol that you want to spew at them, write all of those things out, right? Get it all out. And in that way, you can say, hey, listen, these are the things I have an issue with, and they make me feel this way. Instead of, oh, I know you ain't thinking that you're just going to be doing this and doing that, because that's where people start to feel controlled. And nobody likes to be controlled. But if you just simply come to me with your bullet points, you have a better chance of me being receptive to those bullet points as opposed to this barrage of just frustration and energy.
Right. So I'm reading the comments. Jasmine, Julie, Jay, Janet, all everybody. This is the sandwich method. Sandwich, positivity, come with your point, back with positivity. If someone keeps doing it over and over and over again, that's when you have to make a decision. Is this the right person for me? Because they don't respect me. They keep doing the same thing over and over again. So we talk about accountability. If your partner's not taking accountability, that's when you say, hey, I need to make decisions. Maybe we need to go talk to somebody. Maybe we need to have a life coach, maybe therapy. And if that doesn't work, that's when you say, hey, is this the person for me? If someone keeps doing the same thing over and over again, red flag.
Well, so
okay.
I'll say too, right? And I had this epiphany 2-3 weeks ago, and I mentioned it on the live, right? Because now we're talking about if you're looking at it from you're disrespecting me repetitively, right? You don't resent that person, right? You resent yourself for allowing yourself to be subject to their disrespectful actions, right? So real quick, so real quick. So you can continue to try and change the outside world and make it be what you want to be. But we don't get to control other people, right? Some people do. It doesn't typically turn out well. They tried that shit back in slavery, right? It didn't work out, right? So if they're continually doing something that you feel is disrespectful to you, the question I would ask you is, why do you continue to let yourself be disrespected? Mikhail, go ahead.
That's exactly where the frustration is, because you can't control other people. You can only control and you let it affect you. So here's the thing with that. What you deem as disrespect, I might not be on the same page with you thinking that's disrespectful. I might think, you know what, it's disrespectful that you giving me a curfew. And I'm a grown man.
Right.
That's why I said that has the conversation been had and agreed upon? Not just you tell me, look, you came in late, I feel disrespected, that shit happened again, we're going to have some problems. It happened again, we're going to have some problems. It happened again, we're going to have some problems. And that's the whole conversation. Then I'm looking at it like, okay, all we're going to do is argue about you feeling disrespected, and then it's going and done. You know what I mean? Because now, I guarantee you it's a different time every time. Because we went from the midnight to the sun coming up. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of hours in between that time. And I think that there's some underlying issues that may have not been addressed, and it may not even be between them. You know what I'm saying? It may just be between, maybe she got a girlfriend, and every time her nigga was out, he was up to no goddamn good. You know what I'm saying? But that might not be the man. He might not be into all that craziness. He might just be having a good time. Time got away from him. Oh, shit. Oh, now I'm going to have to deal with this shit when I get in the house. Fuck it. I'm about to go ahead and finish having fun.
Okay, cool. We got you. So, Janet, right?
Yes.
Welcome to the show. It's nice to meet you. I appreciate you not coming in and just screaming and yelling and saying.
Oh, I was. You couldn't hear me, but I was.
So, well, then I take that back. But welcome to the show.
Thank you.
We appreciate your contribution in the comments. You've really put in work. And even though we were getting ready to shut it down, I thought you deserved to be able to come on and say your piece. So,
thank you. I feel the same way.
So what do you have for us?
So I didn't get the whole story, but my thing is, how many times, first of all, you know who you are married to. So you know that she's going to come with aggression if you're not responding the way that she would like for you to respond. So if I have to, absolutely. My husband, I am married. My husband knows that when I get frustrated, I will get loud. It's out of love, but I will get loud. I will start clapping my hands. I get like real mannish, I might want to say. But if I have to explain to you 10 times, I am not okay with you coming in late at night, and I'm not giving you a curfew or anything. That's just common sense right there. You should not be coming home at a disrespectful hour without communicating that at all with your wife, just in the middle of the night. And I have already explained to you 10 times, I'm not okay with that. How many times do I have to say it? Oh, I'm not okay with that. I'm not okay with that. I'm not okay. By the 5th time, now I'm coming at you with the rah-rah. Didn't I tell you? Go ahead. Because I know you got something to say.
So tell me this. You coming with the rah-rah, you coming yelling, is that going to change the situation?
And it is not. And it is probably not. He's not going to react like every other man is going to react. But now I feel like you're not getting my point when I come to you and I'm like, hey, babe, you know what? Coming home 4 o'clock in the morning is just simply too late for me, or 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. And I got to tell it to you again next weekend and again next weekend. Why are you coming home 4 o'clock in the morning? So if you come home again, now I'm like, well, what the? 4 o'clock in the morning. We already discussed this. Like, why is this still an issue? You being disrespectful. Go ahead.
Okay, I understand. Like, we're not giving y'all pushback on the fact that it's disrespectful, right? Mm-hmm. That's not what we're saying here, right? But think about it like this: if you were to come on my show, This is your first time here,
Yes.
and you committed some infraction, right?
Mm-hmm.
And at first I'm like, yo, Janet, we don't carry you like that, right? And then it happened again and again and again. And now I'm yelling at you, right? For one, you're probably not going to want to come back on my show because I'm yelling at you. So I already have a tendency to stay out late. So now I'm really going to stay out late because if you're going to fight me, I might as well get it all in, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? But then what's more important, though, is you are the one subjecting yourself to the disrespect. You have a boundary issue, right?
Yeah.
So you like events unto themselves aren't good or bad. Like, right? Staying out till 3 or 4 in the morning isn't necessarily good or bad. If I came home with a bag of $50 million that was legit, you'd be fussing at me, right?
Yeah. You're right.
But if I come home smelling like perfume, that's more so bad, right? Right. But if it's a repetitive thing, like I said, it's what are you subjecting yourself to? So you're really angry at yourself for allowing yourself to be subject to the disrespect.
Right. But now my question is, how would you like for me to handle the situation? Would you like for me after the 10th time to still talk to you in this cotton soft ass voice and be like, yo, number 10 right here? Like,
you have a better chance of me going out the next time and coming home on time by being more softer and more nurturing than you do by coming at me like you DMX. I don't want to live with DMX, no matter how late and I'm not hold on real quick. And I'm not saying that I'm right. I'm not saying that I'm respecting you by coming in at that time. But what I'm telling you is, if I'm committing an action that you don't like and you're going to scream and yell at me and I'm already the type to not be in the house, I'm going to not be in the house even more. And I'm going to be like, my boy's going to be like, we going home. Be like, well, I'm about to go to the IHOP because I know she's going to be mad and be fussing. So I'm going to stay out even
later. Exactly.
But you are also going to reap what you sow because you want me to come and talk to you in this soft. I mean,
I'm confused now.
That wouldn't even fly with me.
I
would not fly with me.
I think a lot of times when a lot of the ladies on here want to yell, go at the man, it's what you're doing it for yourself. Because you're trying to let that frustration out because it's been built in. And you sit at home just waiting like, what time is it? You can't get no sleep. So all the yelling and stuff comes out because you're so frustrated. You just want to get it out.
Especially if you are a passionate person like I am. I'm passionate. So if I talk to you about something and I am talking to you for the first 3 times and I'm explaining it to you, I mean, regardless, the end of this story right here, you ain't doing that. If I tell you 2-3 times and you still ain't doing it, that's the end of it. You can go do that shit over there. Don't call me, don't text. That's that. Because you disrespecting me to, like, we might have to, I don't know the end of the story, but that's just not flying with me.
Go ahead, Mikhail, go ahead.
My question is, I guess I'm a little confused now, because is the scenario that he just stayed out and there was no communication and he came in late? Because I wasn't getting that part.
So that's how it started, right? But then Jay interpreted it as a repetitive thing, so now it has become more than that. The only reason I gave the hypothetical was to give an example of how the way in which you approach someone when they have hurt your feelings or you feel like they disrespected you. One of the best ways to come at them in order to get to what we would consider a good outcome, right? So if you forget the repetitiveness of it, and you just look at it as a solo incident, right? And you're mad because I'm out later than what you thought I should be. When I come in the house, if I meet the female DMX, you're gonna meet the male DMX. However, if you come at me in a more nurturing, soft, feminine type of way, I'm gonna feel more inclined to actually sit down and have the conversation with you. That was the point.
Okay.
Exactly.
But that is only at a one-time happening situation. If this happens one time, then we're having a conversation. But she made it seem like, to me, that this was a continuous situation and that she expressed it numerous times. Now, that's a different conversation.
But even if it's numerous times, right? if you accept it each time, we train people how to treat us. So now, instead of the rah-rah, give the consequences to the actions.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
If I have to tell you 10 times that I don't like something and you feel like it's okay to still keep on doing it and it's disrespectful towards me, you're going to have to deal with whatever the outcome is.
Right. And that's all we've been saying. It's not
Mm-hmm.
right. Whatever y'all agreed to, it's not right. It could be
Right.
disrespectful. If he has no accountability, that's fine. But if you want to
Right.
come to a common result, communicate. And then you have to set those consequences, whether it's therapy, life
Mm-hmm.
coaching, or you got to keep it moving. Or they can't come back to the house. So whatever that decision is that you make. But we're
Right.
trying to say, if you want to understand and have a conversation at that moment, the rah-rah is not going to work. It's
Oh
not going
no,
to
and
work.
I agree with that. I agree with
Mhm.
that 100%. Like I'm not gonna just go off on you off of something that I don't like that has not been communicated yet. I'm only going off on you if I have to repeat myself 16 times and your ass is still coming home 4 o'clock in the morning. That's no, that's not
You
happening.
like
But I
you like
do
sandwiches,
agree.
Janet? You like sandwiches?
Dream about to give you the positivity, positivity of
No,
salami and turkey.
I don't. I don't. For you, I don't.
Oh god.
I don't.
Oh god. This is
We're
too.
not even gonna go there. There's history, a long
You
time
gotta have
friendship.
positive on the positive spread. You know.
I'm not talking to him. This is the first. I didn't even know. I just stumbled up on this live
Do
because
you
he was live.
do you
Yeah, I know.
follow
I've been
us?
knowing him for a few years.
Who? Dream?
Yeah,
Oh, okay. Well, make sure you follow everybody here. We'll follow you back.
I definitely will.
We appreciate.
This was great. Yes, I liked
Yes.
it. I just clicked on it to listen, and then when I heard what was going on, I immediately got like
We
rage.
appreciate it.
Uh,
Got you got
She-Hulk.
you
The
got
Hulk
pulled,
stuff.
Yes, yes,
you got pulled into the gravitational pull
yes.
of the
I
Mars
did.
mindset. So now
I
you can
did.
every day at 5:30.
I'm coming every day, 5:30.
Appreciate you.
No problem.
Uh,
Thank you guys. You guys have a
All
great
right.
you
day.
too.
I'll
All
talk to you
right,
later.
bye-bye. I'll see you later. Bye.
All right, y'all. Dr. A Hawk wants to come in, but I don't know how much more my screen recording gonna work, and I don't want it to cut off. So this is what I'm gonna do. Appreciate y'all checking out the Mars Mindset for the day. Be good, be blessed. Take care of your family, your loved ones. Take your power back. Peace.
All
All
right.
right, let's bring Dr. A Hawk in here to see what she got to talk about right quick, in case I have to cut the video for YouTube, because it's going on YouTube now. So y'all make sure y'all follow me on YouTube too. Let's see if the doc still. There she go.
Hey, hey,
You're in
hey.
trouble now, y'all. The doc is in the building.
So, wait a minute. This is my thing. So, y'all keep saying, come to somebody. I'm sorry, I'm getting dog food for my dog. I'm in Walmart. But y'all saying to come with a soft response when you were wrong. Why can't your response to why can't your response to the female be the soft response to bring her down? Because you are the one that caused her to have this emotional reaction, right? So how do you restore that? She's the one that's been wrong.
Who's responsible for your emotions, doc? You or me?
Um, you, but your actions have caused her to have a emotional response to it.
She's
You're
so she's allowed my actions to cause her to have an emotional response, right?
absolutely,
Okay,
absolutely. When
but I'll
she's wrong,
e-
yes.
even if you have an emotionally intelligent man and a woman approaches him in a very aggressive kind of way, even though he may be able to lower the tone, it's still going to make him be like, well, I mean, if that's how she's going to come at me, I might as well just stay out anyway. Because I'm
But
never trying to respond
again,
to that.
but again, you got to take responsibility for how that conversation comes out too, because even the Bible says a soft answer turns away wrath. So this is that's what I'm wondering, like, and I'm gonna tell you, I'm not a type of person. I don't do a whole lot of yelling, period. So you're not gonna get no rah-rah yelling, but I'm gonna tell you how I feel. It might be a stern talking to, but at the same time, I think that it's both of your responsibility. Again, if you were wrong, like if you know coming in late is an issue, is a trigger for her, or something that you've talked about, I just feel like it should be you that whose response. If she gives you DMX, you need to give her Anita Baker.
Okay,
Something.
but what DMX runs up on Anita Baker. Anita Baker can still be Anita Baker, but she's probably not going to be too interested in having too many conversations with DMX. So there's an underlying thing that we're not discussing, which is continuing to have a good, productive relationship, right? So
Right.
my so
Right.
so I'm not giving you pushback on the idea that either one of us can lower the tone, right?
Right.
But if the initiator initiates in a way that is fiery, right? Regardless of my response, I'm still going to be like, well, damn, you came at me in a way that made me feel like I'm not really trying to be a part of
But
this.
but again, somebody said the consequences, right? Coming back at you fiery. That's the consequences for the action. This is what you're getting from me.
Yeah, you're right. I'm real quick, Dream.
That's a consequence.
You're right. You're right. But I still have a choice on the type of person that I choose to be with, regardless of the actions that I choose to take. Right.
Right.
So if
Right.
you're gonna
Right.
if you're gonna come at me in that way, I still have the right to be like, okay, you know what I'm saying? I understand what you're saying. I apologize that I disrespected you, but I'm still not
Mm-hmm.
interested in being in a relationship with somebody who comes at me that way. Dream, go.
Right.
So you said come at you with Anita Baker. So if you come at me with DMX, I come home 5 o'clock in the morning after we said 12 o'clock, and you come at me yelling and I say to you, baby, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. Next time I'll do better. Is that going to calm you down?
I think a response to again, and listen, it's a strategy that I use when I talk to my parents all the time because a lot of them come in rah 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 rah. But the way that the energy that I give to them, because they have every right to be upset, but the energy that I give to them back will bring them down. Because again, we got to acknowledge, okay, I was wrong. So when you come back hollering, yelling too, you saying, F that, I wasn't wrong, it's whatever. And that gives somebody else, you know, the attitude like, oh, he don't care anyway. So
So I asked the question: is that going to calm you down? Is that going to change the situation and make things better?
it'll put us in a place to communicate better. It won't change the situation, but it put us in a place to communicate better about the situation.
Okay. If my wife goes out tonight and stays out really late, and this is the second or third time, and she comes in the house and I'm screaming and yelling at her, should she scream and yell back, or should she just be like, hey, I know I was wrong, and
Yeah, yeah,
okay, okay, cool, because you want her to be responsible for the way she communicates when she's emotional, right?
right.
What I'm saying is that there's a step that could occur before that, which is we can all be emotionally intelligent enough to communicate first, which
Right.
means,
And it's
right, because that's how we take our power back, right?
right. But
Right.
it sounds like though,
That's how we take.
you're right.
That's how we take our power back because,
Yeah.
right? Because even though I've been disrespected, I'm a cop. Imagine every time somebody disrespected me, right? I just flew off the handle, right?
Right.
No, I have to be able to do what you're saying, which is respond in a cool, calm, and collected way, right?
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
But sometimes I have to go approach people, right? Who
Mm-hmm.
done really bad things to other people, to victims, right? And
Right.
though I may be emotionally charged by the fact that I'm arresting someone who's committed sexual assault or robbery or something like that, it does me no
Mm-hmm.
good to approach them from an emotional state. It's good for me to be able to be like, hey, listen, these are the bullet
But
points. You're under arrest, turn around.
but the thing, you're not the one that's wrong. You're not the one that's wrong in the situation.
But in his
And
mind, I am no. You understand what I'm saying?
right.
His mind, I'm coming to take your freedom, right? People commit
Mm-hmm.
crimes all the time, and their intent is not to get caught. So I still have to deal with their reaction, and because I know I'm gonna have to deal with their reaction, and I know in their
Mm-hmm.
mind I'm the bad guy, right?
Right.
It
Right.
still
Right.
benefits me, and I don't want you to think I'm disagreeing with you. I'm just saying
Right.
it's very important for us to stop being so reactive with our emotions when we can
But
be
but
proactive with our emotions initially and dead the whole thing.
right. But again, like you said, we're in control of our own emotion and how we
All right.
respond. So I'm sorry.
But you in the
And you're,
bad part.
you're
You, you back to the front.
uh-huh. So we are responsible in our emotions, our emotions and how we respond. So
Uh-huh.
you can't, when you make her upset or mad, if you came in late or whatever, you can't control her emotions and how she reacts, but you can play a role in it by responding in a way that will bring it down.
Okay. I got one question for you, Doc.
Yes.
If what percentage of women do you think if a man came at her calmly after he was wrong, that they're going to react the way you say they're going to react? If I'm coming at you calmly,
then then that means that we're open, because we're open for a relationship. But when you giving me all that energy back, that's when all the old stuff come out too. I'm bringing up everything.
But see,
You
this
know
is
what I'm saying?
oh, like you want me. What I'm saying is, even though I'm wrong, you don't get to skirt responsibility for how you conduct yourself.
Listen, but you got to look at the why. Why am I acting this way? Are you going to take accountability and responsibility for why
Yes,
I'm acting this way?
yes, I'm willing.
yes.
I'm willing to take accountability and responsibility for that. But you still have to take responsibility for how you conduct yourself. What you want me to do, right, is be cool,
Right.
calm, collected, because in your mind, I'm the one who's wrong. What I'm saying, it's a good general rule of thumb to be in control of your emotions, regardless, under stress with chaos.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We all need to be in control of our emotions. All of us. All of us. We do. Because
Exactly.
Right.
we all do. But again, in a relationship, especially if you've been in a relationship for a long time, you should know what's gonna, you know, push my buttons and how I'm gonna respond. Like the young lady said before, her husband know he gonna holler, she gonna yell. So don't put me in a position to go there.
Oh, we can't hear you. But see, what that does is it allows you somebody. Hey, somebody.
I'm sorry, switch to my car.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
When you get in the car, mute it for me.
Mm-hmm. Say that again.
If if you and scream and yell when you have an issue with me, you have anger issues. And for me to conduct myself in a way that doesn't trigger you is not doing you, it's doing you a disservice, because it's allowing you to continue to not effectively communicate while angry. Right now, I'm not saying I should go out. I can't hear you. I'm not saying I should go out and intentionally do things just to make you mad. But what you're doing is the same way you're telling me I'm skirting responsibility, you're skirting the responsibility of improving or becoming emotionally intelligent.
But this is the thing, though. Why does it have to be I have anger issues? Why is it not that I'm upset and I'm expressing my emotions?
Well, because if you're telling me you're screaming and yelling, right, about something, you at this point you've reached a point where you cannot effectively communicate and talk to me here to here. That's what I mean by that. I ain't saying you gotta go to anger management, right? But I'm
And I agree with that. I do agree with that. What you're saying, because I know for me, sometimes I need to step away from a situation. So I'm not responding and acting on emotions before we have the conversation. And as I said before, I'm not a big yeller and screamer anyway. So,
Yeah, because me,
you know.
I'll come in the house and tell you go sleep it off, and we'll talk about it in the morning.
Mhm. When you because you make that's where it's detrimental when you're making when you're responding based on your emotions.
Right.
Hey, we appreciate you, Doc. I gotta get out of here.
All right,
All right, see
go
you
to work,
tomorrow.
protect and serve.
I appreciate. Hey, Mikhail and Jasmine, y'all got anything before we slide off?
No, sir.
I had something, but I forgot.
Oh, I'm sorry. We got down into the weeds. We appreciate y'all. Y'all gonna be here tomorrow with us too?
Man, you know we try to hop on every day.
All right, so we'll see y'all tomorrow. Appreciate y'all. Hey, buy the book I Matter. It's on Amazon.
I'm mad. I got it. Got you.
Peace.
All right.
Dream, you want do you want to say something before we sign off for the night?
Man, continue to build a better you. And remember, we all love sandwiches. Positive, get to your point, end with positive, because You're not going nowhere. If you're not going nowhere, make it work. Make it work and build a better you.
Coach Jay said, regulate yourself prior to engaging. That's why I tell people to write down all the nasty things they want to say first and get all of that out. Focus on your bullet points and be understanding that the other person has emotions and a perspective too, even if they're wrong. Be good, be blessed, be safe, hug your loved ones, kiss your
Really funny.
walk your dog, all that good stuff. And if you need a good self-empowerment coach, need some mental clarity, some emotional intelligence, or some effective communication training, take your power back. Hit me up. Peace.